YouTube. Chick.
Shout out Chick Smooth. The title of this video coming from Chick Smooth is Jim Jones exposes Cameron for stealing.
Now you guys all know how it goes in business. Everybody feels like there's only room for one person at the top, so it's all about killing your competition.
Niggas is getting old as shit.
Why you say that?
Look at these niggas. I mean, look at us too, bro. Look at these niggas. These niggas like great blacks and wax figures.
Leave him alone,
They
man.
look crazy,
Nah,
yo.
that's Cam and Jim Jones, man.
I'm just saying, niggas getting
the
old.
sad part is, man, these dudes used to be cool. They all come out of that Dipset mob. Now they just like ultimate rivals.
Yeah, and then they ultimate rivals because everybody got to hate and just. I think a lot of it got to do with just for content, just to have something to talk about. And I ain't gonna lie, I never liked Jim Jones, like his music or.
Jim got a few joints that I like.
But some of his more recent ones, I don't hate.
Right. Okay. Fair
Alright.
enough.
Can we say
Okay.
that?
Fair enough.
Alright.
You're going to do anything you can to gain an advantage. And yes, that means even if it's poking holes in your competition. Now, you guys all know Jim Jones has a podcast with Mano, Dave East, and Fab. Their podcast is called Let's Rap About It. So far, they've got about 4 episodes out right now. Now, so far, the numbers for the podcast looks pretty good. Almost every episode for the podcast is at 100K views. But just like we saw with Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast, it doesn't quite hit the same until you diss another podcast that's at the top of the food chain.
That's how I work.
No, it
why
shouldn't
we
be though.
dissing
Yeah, but
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to be cussing. Forget about them. You can't diss somebody without cuss. You gotta cuss too.
son, you don't have to. All right, go
All right,
ahead.
let
I'm
me
gonna
say
give you the
something.
green
I'ma say-
light,
I'ma
man.
say
I'm gonna let you go.
I'm gonna say something controversial.
Go ahead.
All right, I think Jim Jones braids look like my grandmother's used to look under her wig.
Like Miss Sally's.
Yeah.
In the color purple.
Yeah, I think.
God damn
Jim
it, they
Jones-
just grayer.
right. No, they're exactly the same gray.
God damn it.
They the proper gray,
So we gonna shoot at Jim Jones and Fab and them,
and they're not gonna not care.
right? Because they doing something.
They're like, who?
Well, kid.
Yeah, we don't care, neighbor.
Yeah,
Y'all
we're
shoot back
pop,
ass.
pop, pop, pop. Yeah,
That's the playbook everybody has been running the past 10 years. If you want to get your podcast name out there, you have to diss another podcast early on and hope they respond to you. And surprise, surprise, 4 episodes in, and here we are. Jim Jones is now trying to expose Cameron and his podcast for allegedly stealing the name of their podcast. Now, everybody knows Cam and Mace has a podcast called It Is What It Is. It's been going for 2 years now. I believe the first episode was actually recorded back in November of 2022. As you guys know, it's a sports podcast and it's very successful. So much so that they actually signed an 8-figure deal for the podcast a couple years ago.
Clicks over
And how'd the show come together from there?
So the show actually came together. We were supposed to do a tour after we got cool, me, him, and Jada. That didn't work out. And so many people were inviting me to do podcasts. Like, yo, Cam, do a podcast. When you gonna do a podcast? And I'm like, I don't really want to talk to niggas for a living. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I don't want to have to talk to nobody, but I do like sports. So I look at the phone, I'm arguing with niggas, and by the time I hang the phone up, it's just say 2.5 hours of me arguing with a nigga about sports. So I was like, maybe this is something I want to do. And I built a stage. I got to stay on stage. I built my own set out. And I said, I'm going to do ESPN meets the hood. So that's why we wear suits on the show. But it was a professional setting. And then after that, I invited Mace on the show as a guest. And he's like, Ken, what's going on? And I said, I'm just shooting this shit. I said, I got a budget. I'm going to reach this budget and see if niggas bite, pause. And he's like, you want to be partners? I'm like, after I get my money back on what I spent, we could go 50-50. And he's like, all right, bet. So we did about 10 shows and a bunch of people called. So we ended up doing like 30 shows and ended up getting a really good deal. But after I did like 5 shows, he's like my 5th guest. And he's like, be partners, because I have nobody consistent doing it anyway. So that's how I came together.
I think y'all smoking shit, man. I think everything that y'all have done in the media space, what it is, in the talk with Flea, I think y'all smoke.
Yeah, shout out to them. They do it right.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
I like the way it looks. I like
Respect.
their perspective. I like the growth. And
Absolutely.
seeing them, and it's also dope that they've been friends since kids. That's always dope to
True
see
indeed.
brotherhood. Even though they had many years where they fell out,
Yeah,
What
yeah, they
was dealing
did.
with one another.
No
But
doubt.
to see that and to see them to be able to go back and forth with
And blow up like that.
to blow up like that and still and to be able to talk about, yo, remember the time we was 15
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
happened,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
That's somewhat of the dream. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
That's
respect,
that's amazing.
respect. We on our way, son.
Yeah, we doing it, but we don't got no rap albums out first. So
No, we don't have no albums.
We gotta
man.
let y'all know who we is, and they be like, oh,
Oh, man, whatever, man. We get ready to expand on it, man.
That's
we
right.
ready to do some things.
That's right. And without cussing, did I cuss yet, y'all? Shout out to the churchies.
Nah,
Now, here's where things get interesting, you guys. Apparently, there's a podcast called It Is What It Is Radio. And also, this specific podcast was started back in 2016. And now they're officially accusing Cameron of stealing the name of their podcast. The host for It Is What It Is radio show came out yesterday and said, yo, you might as well let the rest of the world know if you already don't. Cameron, I started It Is What It Is radio show in 2016 and you stole the name. I thought Harlem was known for being original. I got receipts. Let's have a conversation. Y'all can at Cameron. Now, magically, some way, somehow, these guys managed to get in touch with Jim Jones. I'll let you guys figure out exactly how it happened. And of course, Jim Jones did exactly what he was supposed to do. And that is giving light and attention to this story, this accusation, hoping and making sure it picks up traction. Jim reposted it to his story and says, yo, stole the name of the show is crazy. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, and somebody actually told this guy in the comments saying, yo, it is what it is.
That's the same thing I'm about to say. People say it is what it is. That's nothing crazy to say.
Nah, but brother said he already had a show. This is a radio show, not a podcast, though. It is what it is, radio show.
Dude, you can't say he stole it. That's something people say.
It is what it is. I mean, we've been saying that for years.
Right. So that to say that person who had a podcast, Cam could have never heard of that and came up with that very easily because it's a common saying. Plus, it don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter what they called it. It's Cam and Mace. That's why it's big.
Yeah.
They could have called it the Cam
They
and
are the
Mace show.
draw. Yeah, they are the draw.
Right. They just happen to call it is what it is. So to me, that's a non
You think somebody got a Don't Stop Comedy podcast?
maybe.
No, they don't. This us, man. You know what it is. My brother's stand-up comedian, and we giving it to y'all.
It's us. But at the same time, if someone did, that would feel like it was stolen. But if you had something like, I don't know, What Up TV or something like that, I can't say you stole What Up TV. Like, nigga,
True that.
you know what I mean? Oh, damn. Algorithm down. I said the N word.
This is a frequent saying
Let's make up another N word. All right, that's neither here nor there.
we use in New York. I'm pretty sure in other areas too. Them using the name was probably a real coincidence. How many Lils and Babies do we have in rap?
You know
The
what I'm
host
saying?
of the show says, I'm just saying I had it first. That's all. And it's some similarities.
I had it first ain't the same thing as you stole it.
What?
I had it first is not the same thing as someone stole it.
For example.
For example, like I said, if you call something a common name, you can't argue that you said it first.
Like, this is
I mean,
fresh.
you can't argue that it's stolen.
Right. Like, this is fresh.
Right. If somebody had Fresh TV,
Right. Podcast or whatever.
I'm sure there's a Fresh TV podcast.
Somewhere.
But let's say Jim Jones decided to call his podcast Fresh TV. That doesn't mean he stole it.
Referencing to it.
Yeah. It's just those guys called it first, but it's fresh. I mean, what are we talking about?
been doing that shit before it became a thing to do in 2016. Now, let's be all the way real here, you guys. Jim Jones definitely knows that Cam did not steal the name of his podcast from these guys. From what it looks like, these guys stopped doing their podcast, It Is What It Is radio show like 5 years ago. And it was a music-based podcast, not a sports podcast like Cam and Mace's. And I'll be honest with you guys, the phrase "it is what it is" so common, even Hassan Campbell thought they stole the name from him.
Mace, did he pull he pulled the popcorn. Mace, I'm gonna listen. Y'all took "it is what it is" from me. But I'm gonna have to steal the popcorn. I'm gonna steal the pop. I'm admitting it to the world. I have to get the popcorn. Mace, I have to get the popcorn.
Nigga, you are the popcorn.